possible? Wasn't Saturday the day of Eid?
Yes,
And
after that.
what were the guys fighting for on the day of Eid of all days? In the mosque.
Salim was fighting for the Halim.
Oh, man.
Musa was fighting for the Samosa.
Musa too.
All of them.
Was just the two of them, right? Oh, what an interesting morning it must have been. Anyway, I hope Salim got his Halim and Musa shared the samosas. I hope so. I hope so. Anyway, what's happening on the roads?
Okay, now if you're traveling on the N2 and N3 this morning, maintain a safe following distance, especially on the N3, as you go past State Ridge, Camperdown, going up towards Masburg, town here, very misty conditions. So, like the fog is also just hanging over that mist as well. So, conditions are looking good in terms of visibility. And, this morning it was raining out north. Very interestingly, 80% of the potholes have been filled up. 20% left to fill up now,
With water.
So, stop laughing now, please. I'm giving you the traffic.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So, it's raining out north. So, the roads are wet. It's starting to come down towards Durban as well, slowly. So, make sure if you're going out this morning, your wipers are working. Headlights will be on in that area where visibilities are poor, please, especially on the N3. Going out north on the N2 as well, very misty conditions as you go past Tanga, towards Guinea Globu, towards Richards Bay and Pangani. So just make sure that your headlights are on. The N2 is starting to get busy, coming towards Spaghetti Junction from the N7 northbound. Also the N2 southbound are starting to get busy as well as you're approaching the Spaghetti Junction. That's your first update.
Thank you very much, Colonel Raouf. Much appreciated. You take it nice and easy, and we'll catch up with you a bit later on the show. Walaikum salam. There were a few more people, apparently that was involved in that scuffle, and I thought Colonel Raouf was going to tell me all about everybody, but then he decided not to. So maybe I don't know. He's just keeping a few people's secrets. Who knows? Just, Salim fighting for his Salim and Musa just hogging all the samosas. That's all he was going to give us this morning.
The weather update. I think it's going to be playtime weather.
Let me give you the weather update. Cloudy 29 for Durban. Pietermaritzburg, a cloudy 29 as well. Richards Bay today, partly cloudy 30 degrees. Margate, a partly cloudy 27. Johannesburg today, mostly cloudy 22. And Cape Town, a clear 28 degrees. That, according to the weather app, is what we should be expecting weather-wise around South Africa today. Now, there's one or two of you right there on. No, I'm not pointing at you in the camera. I'm pointing below the camera, like WhatsApp is over there, just below the camera. One or two of you already, if not more, asking,
what happened? Where's Nadmira?
Well, for the last 2 mornings, Nasmira Kasim has woken up in a hospital. So, live from her hospital bed somewhere in Durban, Nasmira Kasim, I'm not going to ask how you are because you're going to lie to me and tell me that you're okay.
Assalamu alaikum. You cannot keep any secrets, any at all.
I refuse to. I refuse to keep secrets from our listeners because you see, every single person that heard that right now, that Nasmira Kasim for the last 2 mornings has woken up in a hospital bed, and tomorrow morning, quite possibly, going to wake up in a hospital bed again. Every single one of those is now going to make a dua for shifa for you.
Can't argue with that. So in this case, I have to thank you then. Jazakallah.
There you go. It's going to help. It's going to be a positive. So why are you not resting?
I am. We had this conversation yesterday. You cannot, well, for me personally, you cannot rest in a hospital. And for those that have stayed, it's not possible.
You put your phone off, you put your computer off, your laptop off, and then you close your eyes. It's how you
close your eyes, and then someone will say, please, can I check your blood pressure?
And you say, listen, yeah, I'm sleeping.
And then
Come
somebody
back.
else will be screaming down the hall and you'll hear it. There's a lot of disturbances, but Dua's
Yeah.
requested that, all of this passes and I can be home soonest. And then, inshallah, real rest will take place.
There you go. So, to everybody that's sending through messages saying, "Hey, get well soon, Dua Shifa," etc. On her behalf, I'm going to say thank you very much for doing that, and yes, keep her in your duas. But as you can hear, that mouth don't stop working, no matter what happens.
Not when it comes to radio. Everything else will stop, but the passion for radio will always flow. But I must say this, Nishal, if you'd allow me,
Yeah.
please, we always say live life to the fullest, and we're going to do that tomorrow, and we're going to tell that person something that we've been meaning to tell them for the past forever, and we're going to get to it, And then you have an experience and you realize that we cannot take anything for granted. We say it, but do we actually practice it? Do we actually look somebody in the eye and say thank you? Do we actually do what's important now? And that was a lesson I learned on the day of Eid, because truthfully, I wasn't sure if I would come out of that. And that is what I have
Good.
taken out of that. There was an accident on Eid day in the North Coast. I was traveling to family. We planned, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala plans, and again, lessons taken out of it.
Undoubtedly, the one thing that we always acknowledge, but at the same time don't acknowledge, is that tomorrow is not promised to anybody. In fact, the next minute is not promised to anybody. And over the last 24 hours, I've received, funeral notices of multiple people that I know that have passed away in different parts of Durban. Life is short.
Yeah.
Life is so short.
Let's not take regret with us.
Indeed. So, on that little bit of a somber note, starting a Monday morning, sorry. But if you're watching YouTube right now, thank you very much for doing that. Thank you for being there and tuning in on radio as well. We'll take your messages on 0609041056. You're only allowed to send us birthday messages to read for other people if you sent it to them first. You're only allowed to do that. Phone them, send them a voice note, make it personal, and then make it public here on the radio after that. No problem. Like belated birthday messages. Did you phone them yesterday when it was their birthday? Did you do that? Did you send them a WhatsApp message, a voice note, made a video, put a dance in? Did you do that?
Maybe they forgot. Now they're feeling guilty. That's why they're doing it on the radio.
Okay, then. Happy belated birthday to sister-in-law, Shaida Ali, for yesterday from Razia. There's so many belated birthday messages coming through. I'm wondering if the station wasn't working yesterday for folks to send messages on the day.
But then again, some people would say, if you didn't wish me on TBR, was it actually my birthday?
There you go. Yes, see. Top of the World Breakfast Rush show early in the morning with Ibadat followed. Thank you very much, Sarah Bibi Mustafa Parag, for your messages this morning. She sends you, Nasmira Kasim, a dua as well, saying, may Allah give dua shifa. We'll remember you in duas. This is Sarah Bibi Mustafa Parag.
Jazakallah khair.
And then the message that we've been waiting for this morning, because now after this message, we can stop reading these messages, basically. Because Shabir Ali comes through and says, belated birthday message for the wife. And he's saying thank you to everybody. Done and done. No more. Finished. Check it out. Your Breakfast Rush, 6:41.
The Breakfast Rush, brought to you courtesy of the Willerton Group, at the forefront of innovation and one of the leading competitors in the South African FMCG market.
For over 5 decades, Sunfoil has nurtured a legacy rooted from our land. From a sunflower seed grown with goodness and love, crafted through excellence, precision, and care. Proudly South African and the only 100% pure sunflower oil endorsed as a diamond partner by the Heart and Stroke Foundation. Cook with confidence, serving the best to the people you love from one dish to the next. Sunfoil, the heart of good cooking.
In a world divided by crisis and detachment, let Ramadan reconnect us. Join Africa Muslims Agency to feed the fasting across the world. Donate towards an iftar box for 140 Rand, a monthly food hamper for 1,900 Rand, or feed a community for 20,000 Rand per day. From Gaza to Mozambique to Syria and more, every meal creates a connection between human hearts and the divine. This Ramadan, nourish bodies and reconnect souls with Africa Muslims Agency.
The Breakfast Rush, brought to you courtesy of the Woollerton Group, at the forefront of innovation and one of the leading competitors in the South African FMCG market.
Big city to big city. Winners wake up with the Breakfast Rush.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Please don't rush your breakfast now that Ramadan is over. Just tune in to the Breakfast Rush on Radio Al Ansar.
فدا بنا میں علی علی دم دم علی 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 اگلے نظر کی آنکھ کا تارا علی علی اگلے نظر کی آنکھ کا تارا علی علی اگلے وفا کے دل کا اگلے وفا کے دل کا سگارا علی علی صدیق کا دل بر حیدر ہے عثمان کا دلارا حیدر ہم سب کا پیارا علی علی دم دم علی علی ایک کیف ایک سرور سا رگتا رات دن ایک کیف ایک سرور سا رگتا رات دن جب سے ہوا گرد ہمارا علی 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 جب سے ہوا گرد ہمارا علی 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 دم دم 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 علی علی دنیا میں سب سے اعلیٰ گھرانے کے نور گو دنیا میں سب سے اعلیٰ گھرانے کے نور گو اس واسطے کا نام تمہارا علی 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 اس واسطے ہے نام تمہارا علی علی صدیق کا دل بر حیدر ہے عثمان کا دلارا حیدر ہم سب کا پیارا علی علی دم دم علی علی جنگل پگاڑ کے گئے ناد علی جنگل پگاڑ کے گئے ناد علی علی جنگل پگاڑ کے گئے ناد علی علی مشکل کو میری حل کرو مشکل کشا علی 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 دم دم علی 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 علی تن پر علی علی ہو صبح پر علی علی تن پر علی علی ہو صبح پر علی जाऊं तो कफन पे लिखना अली अली मर जाऊं तो कफन पे लिखना अली अली सिद्दीक का दिलबर है उस्मान का गुलाम है हम सबका प्यारा अली अली दम दम अली अली आज़म ये मग़फ़िरत की सनद हमारे पास आज़म ये मग़फ़िरत की सनद हमारे पास हम अली के और हमारा अली 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 हम अली के और हमारा अली 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 दम दम 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 अली अली शहादत को गोद तूने लिया मोहब्बत की रस्म तुझसे चली
The Breakfast Rush, brought to you courtesy of the Willerton Group, at the forefront of innovation and one of the leading competitors in the South African FMCG market.
For over 5 decades, Sunfoil has nurtured a legacy rooted from our land. From a sunflower seed grown with goodness and love, crafted through excellence, precision, and care. Proudly South African and the only 100% pure sunflower oil endorsed as a diamond partner by the Heart and Stroke Foundation. Cook with confidence, serving the best to the people you love, from one dish to the next. Sunfoil, the heart of good cooking.
Every day's a good day.
Did you hear? Your favorite 24-hour dentist has moved? Crown Dental Studio, offering everything your smile needs, from general to cosmetic dentistry. Female practitioner now available upon request. Call us on 081 207 8621 to schedule your next appointment. Or visit our new studio at 26 McCuton Avenue, Durban North. Crown Dental Studio, your 24-hour dentist.
The Breakfast Rush, brought to you courtesy of the Willerton Group, at the forefront of innovation and one of the leading competitors in the South African FMCG market.
You are listening to The Breakfast Rush with Nazmira Kasim and Nishal Sarawan.
Live from your Radio Al-Ansar main studio. Call it headquarters if you like. That's me. And live from somewhere else here in Durban, Nazmira Kasim. I know she was running around the ward. Not sure if she was helping the nurses or whatever the case may be. But I wonder if she's back from her ex.
I went to fetch my charger.
Oh, that's all, is it?
That's all, but it's like completely different floors, so I got lost in the process.
Right. You know, there's this very, very interesting message that comes through on WhatsApp now from Ahmed, or Ahmad, however you want to pronounce it, A-M-O-D, Ahmad, right?
Mm-hmm.
The message, and I generally wouldn't read a message where on the top of it says forwarded. Generally speaking, I wouldn't read. This one actually says forwarded many times. So definitely when we see those, we skip it completely. But for some odd reason, I decided, let me just look at it, see what it is. It's a very interesting message. It doesn't pertain to you in this mirror, but to so many people that are listening in right now. It says, after 50, the body stops sending polite emails and begins issuing official memos.
Mm-hmm.
Your body, right? You wake up one morning and you discover that your knees now have opinion. Your back has started keeping records. Your blood pressure has developed ambitions. Somewhere inside you, cholesterol is quietly building a retirement home along your arteries without asking for planning permission. You know, at this age, the doctor no longer greets you with "How are you?" but with "What are we monitoring this year?" cardiovascular disease waits like an old classmate who never forgot you owed him money. Type 2 diabetes lurks like a relative who visits without notice and stays longer than expected. Osteoporosis is busy negotiating with your bones, slowly convincing them that density is overrated. Arthritis joins the conversation just to ensure every movement is discussed in advance. And cancer, well, cancer is an uninvited guest whose name everybody lowers their voice to mention. This is the reason, or this is the season rather. This is the season of life where the body demands respect, receipts, and a lifestyle audit. Suddenly you begin to hear sentences you once ignored. Eat more vegetables, reduce salt, walk daily, sleep well, avoid stress, drink water. You realize these were not suggestions. They were survival tips that your younger self laughed at while chewing anything. Deep fried dough pastries at night, you chowing it. Exercise becomes less about looking good and more about remaining able to stand up without negotiating with the furniture. You're told to do weight-bearing exercise for your bones, brisk walking, stair climbing, squats. At this point, even climbing into a bus feels like a resistance training. You're advised to practice daily exercises like standing on one leg. You try it and immediately discover why chairs were invented. Swimming is a recommendation for your joints. Cycling is excellent. Tai Chi is very calming, and you nod seriously, knowing very well the only consistent exercise you've mastered is turning over in the bed with skill and experience. Then the diet arrives. Calcium, vitamin D, vitamin K, magnesium, fiber, protein, antioxidants. Suddenly your plate begins to look like a pharmacy shelf. You're told to eat sukuma wiki, which basically is collard greens, right? Bhaji. Now, there's mrenda, which is jute, mallow, omena, which are small dried sardines, beans, whole grains, fruits, nuts, fish, and leafy things that your younger self considered decoration on the plate. You are told to reduce salt to less than 2 grams a day. 2 grams! That's the amount of salt that accidentally falls from the shaker while you're thinking about something else. Sugar has become a criminal. Fried food becomes suspicious. Processed food becomes public enemy number 1. You are advised to flavor food with garlic and ginger and lemon and herbs. You discover that food without salt tastes like a motivational speech. Healthy, inspiring, and slightly difficult to swallow. Portion control is introduced. A fist-sized portion of carbohydrates, a palm-sized portion of protein. You begin to look at your hands and wonder why they're not bigger. But beneath all the humor, something becomes very, very clear. After 50, health is no longer automatic. It's a daily decision. It's quiet discipline. It's choosing to walk when you could sit. It's choosing vegetables when you could fry. It's choosing sleep when you could scroll. It's choosing kindness to your body the same way you should choose kindness to other people. You realize that old age is not decided by years, but by habits. So you walk, and then slowly at first, you eat your vegetables with new respect. You stare at omena and whisper apologies for past neglect. You attempt a squat and hear sounds from your knees that remind you of opening an old wooden door. And in the middle of all this, you laugh. because the same body that carried you recklessly throughout your youth is now asking for a little cooperation, not miracles, just moderation, not punishment, just discipline. After 50, you finally understand something profound. Good health is not a gift, it's a project. And like all serious projects, it begins with small, stubborn, consistent action. Now, a very long message, Amod. But the reason I read it this morning is because it's got a tad bit of humor in there and it makes so much sense.
That was beautiful. Do you need some water?
No, I don't need water.
That was beautiful. But I do think. I do think 30 for a lot of people is the new 50, because a lot of things that you described, I have felt. My back was probably born like 20 years before me, and there are other 30-year-olds approximately, that would agree with that. But I think you're right. Look, it's all about balance, right? And making this routine that you've mentioned a habit, not just once a week, as Buddy Governor would advise us.
Yeah, listen. If you look at Buddy Governor in his and he's retired already, right? So I can say this: in his retirement years, he looks much fitter than people that are 20 to 30 years younger than him.
Correct. We would come first from the back.
The true story. We're bringing up the rear on that one. But listen, the other reason I read that message this morning, and Buddy, this is not for you. It's for everybody else. The reason I read that message this morning is to brighten up some of the Liverpool fans' morning.
Now you're standing in this place. It's time to show all the deeds that you've done. The horn has been blown. Yeah, في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا ربنا آتينا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا. What could I say? Where could I go? When you're the most high, the king of that day. I'll be standing. Oh my, forgive me for my wrongs. Protect me. In your shade, don't let me slip away. Have you ever been this bad and pray as you cry? When did you apologize or ask him to go? Now you're standing in this place. It's time to show all the things that you've done. The horn has been blown. Yeah, ربنا آتينا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا ربنا آتينا.
Rabbana. Nadeem Mohammed doing the voice work on this one here. It's come up for exactly 7. Now let's get to your main news bulletin.
The Breakfast Rush main news bulletin.
KwaZulu-Natal legislature did not mince their words when addressing the issue of foreign nationals and illegal immigration during a sitting of the House last week. Good morning, I'm Tabile Duma. Members of the KwaZulu-Natal legislature did not mince their words last week when addressing the issue of foreign nationals and illegal immigration during a sitting of the House. Addressing the matter through motions for the next sitting, MPLs from parties including the IFP and the MK raised concerns spanning national security, overwhelmed public services, rising social tensions and the alleged negative impact on the Black community and youth as they called for urgent intervention. IFP MPL Petros Msimang said the House notes that illegal immigration threatens security, stability and economic processes. Community groups are reportedly turning away foreign nationals from clinics and schools. These actions stem from claims that the public services are overwhelmed, leading to rising tensions. Msimago warned that delaying action will further strain communities and undermine social cohesion. MK party member MPL Nozipho Mazibuko said the House should deliberate and debate on the escalating tension between the parents of the South African learners and the parents of the foreign learners in the public schools. MP Elisa Madonsela said the House should implore the Department of Education to urgently address the issue of the prioritization of employment of foreign educators over South Africans. Last month, the KZN Premier Thamsanqa Ntuli led a roundtable discussion on undocumented foreign nationals, focusing on the complex challenges associated with illegal immigration in South Africa, particularly in KZN. Staying with local news, a domestic dispute in Glen Ashley in Durban North resulted in a suspected murder-suicide on Saturday after a husband allegedly shot his wife before turning the gun on himself. KwaZulu-Natal Police spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Paul Makwaza said that Durban North Police are investigating a case of murder and an inquest after an incident on Saturday where a husband went to a venue where his wife was attending an event and called her to come outside. Makwaza said the wife came out and the husband shot her. He then turned the gun on himself. Makwaza said they were both rushed to hospital where they were both declared deceased. In more news, the disqualification of Karabo Kakao from the Democratic Alliance leadership race has raised concerns among political analysts who say the move risks damaging the party's image among both its members and the broader public. Kakao, a DA MP and national spokesperson, was barred from contesting the party's upcoming Federal Council deputy chair position after it emerged that she allegedly owed more than 4,000 rands in party tithes. The decision has triggered debate about internal processes, fairness, and perception within the party. Political analyst Professor Ricky Munyoradzi Mukonza said that the situation reflects poorly on the DA, regardless of the technical details. Kakao announced her withdrawal in a statement shared on social media on Saturday, describing it as a forced withdrawal from the race. She explained that the issue stemmed from a missed payment in July last year, which she said was rectified promptly. ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula has revealed that the party is intensifying its preparations for the upcoming local government elections through a comprehensive strategy aimed at strengthening its position across South African municipal councils. Mbalula was speaking during his closing address at the 5th Amatoli Regional Conference, which concluded yesterday under the theme United in Building a Capable Local Government to Deliver Services to Our Communities. The conference saw the re-election of the region's top 5 leaders following the reappointment of Sheila Xengo as regional chairperson. And finally, the Cuban government has said that it's prepared for any potential United States attacks as the island nation begins to recover from yet another blackout under a punishing oil blockade imposed by Washington that has pushed its economy to the brink. Deputy Foreign Minister Carlos Fernandez de Cosio responded yesterday to U.S. President Donald Trump's threats last week to take over Cuba, insisting that it had historically been ready to mobilize as a nation for military aggression. His comments were aired a day after the latest collapse of the country's aging nationwide grid that has left millions of people in the dark. Saturday's outage was the second in the past week and the third in March. The state-run electric union and the Ministry of Energy and Mines said that some 72,000 customers in the capital Havana, including 5 hospitals, had electricity again early yesterday. But the number represented only a fraction of Havana's total population of approximately 2 million. Taking a look at our financial indicators, the rand to the US dollar is trading at 17 rands and 13 cents, to the euro at 19 rands and 78 cents, to the pound at 22 rands and 82 cents. The Saudi Riyal is at 4 rands and 58 cents. Gold is trading at $4,349.86 an ounce, while Brent crude oil is trading at $112.86 a barrel. That's it for now. I will be back with the headlines at 7:30. For Radio Alonso News, I'm Tabile Duma.
Thank you very much, Tabile Duma. Much appreciated. 7:30. We'll get you news headlines. I'm getting gorgeous pictures coming through of what I think are KZN Midlands. It kind of looks like that. We'll get some confirmation from the person who sent her through.
Breakfast Rush Traffic.
Colonel Raouf, assalamu alaikum. Welcome back.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Nice pictures, eh?
Gorgeous pictures. Lovely, lovely, lovely. But where is this?
It's in the Point area.
Really? It kind of looks like the Midlands, but anyway. Okay, tell us what's happening on the roads.
Yeah, let's get onto the road. If you're traveling, coming into town from Jacobs, on Blamey Road, there's an accident as you take in the ramp from Blamey Road coming onto the Southern Freeway. So there is delays in the facility, allow for stopping time. Entry going towards Peter Mansburg, just before Market Road, stationary vehicle on the left-hand lane. Going to be delays there as well. Accident on the entry, westbound just after Sherwood ramp. Looks like the park lane is obstructed. So you also got misty conditions and very poor visibility in the area. Drive safely there, please. Accident on the M4, as you come onto the M4 from Midlands Trail, heading towards Durban. So, no, that's the same one I spoke about, coming in from Clearwood. So that's the same accident. Congestion on the N3 going to Peter Mansburg after Ashburton. Now, this is caused due to that vehicle being broken down on the N3. One vehicle broken down causes a major problem. If you're on the N3 eastbound, just before the M30 is split from Guinea, tanker has left the road, so there's delays. There's still people seeing what's happening. Accident on the N2 between Heberdean and Tweedy, closer to Heberdean side. So going towards Port Jefferson is affected. All the authorities are in attendance. They're busy sorting that one out. If you're on your way to Johannesburg, near roadside, you're stuck involved in an accident. So the recovery will be done during the day. When the recovery is being done, they'll probably close the freeway. Just remember that. Now, this is the big one for the morning. Truck broken down by the woods in Waterfall. It's taking up the entire roadway. So that area is now completely obstructed because it's a horse with a double trailer that's broken down on a bend. Just be aware of that, please. Especially within the Waterfall area, you're going to be affected. That's your second update.
Thank you very much, Colonel Rauf. Tell me, are you guys ready for this march that's coming through on Wednesday in Durban this week?
We are in March at the moment.
But we're going to march, because that's what the calendar looks like for South Africa.
Yeah, no, we'll always be here, yes.
I'll take that as a yes, we're ready. Thank you very much, Colonel Rauf. Much appreciated. Catch up with you later. He's not going to give away too many details, Nazmira Kasim. He's not going to do it. He's not going to say this is what we've got planned. No. But I'll tell you what we're going to do. Yeah, he's not going to give us those details. Do you this morning? We're going to give you the info that you need because the somewhat controversial citizen-led movement, March and March. They're marching on an immigration protest this Wednesday. It's planned for this Wednesday. And we've got the founder of March and March ready and lined up to speak with us this morning. Jacinta Ngobisi Zuma is going to be talking with us about this march that's expected to begin at King Dinizulu Park and move through the CBD here in Durban. We'll talk about that after this.
The Breakfast Rush, brought to you courtesy of the Willerton Group, at the forefront of innovation and one of the leading competitors in the South African FMCG market.
For over 5 decades, Sunfoil has nurtured a legacy rooted from our land. From a sunflower seed grown with goodness and love, crafted through excellence, precision, and care. Proudly South African and the only 100% pure sunflower oil endorsed as a diamond partner by the Heart and Stroke Foundation. Cook with confidence, serving the best to the people you love, from one dish to the next. Sunfoil, the heart of good cooking.
The views and opinions expressed by the guest and presenters of Radio Al Ansar are not necessarily the views and opinions of Radio Al Ansar and the Al Ansar Foundation.
Get ready to elevate your fitness game at First Fitness in Durban's Berea. With a spacious free weight area, award-winning equipment, and exclusive ladies-only parking and training level, we've got everything you need to crush your goals. Hit the ground running on our outdoor track or unleash your inner warrior in our MMA and boxing dungeon. Plus, enjoy high high security, and ample parking. And don't forget to refuel at our Halal Coffee and Health restaurant for the best in coffees, smoothies, and healthy eats. Join us today and redefine your fitness journey. First Fitness, dare to be extraordinary.
When disaster strikes, families lose everything in an instant. Homes destroyed, communities displaced. Hope fades into uncertainty. Our Global Emergency Fund ensures we respond without delay, delivering food, water, shelter, and healthcare to families in need. To support our Global Emergency Fund, visit islamicrelief.org.za.
The Breakfast Rush, brought to you courtesy of the Woolerton Group, at the forefront of innovation and one of the leading competitors in the South African FMCG market.
It is your Breakfast Rush on 12 after 7 on this Monday morning. A controversial citizen-led movement is preparing to take to the streets of Durban this week, drawing both support and concern from different sectors of society. The group March and March, founded by former radio presenter Jacinta Ngobisi Zuma, is organizing a protest aimed at highlighting what it describes as the growing impact of undocumented immigrants in South Africa. The march, which coincides with the movement's one-year anniversary, is expected to begin at King Dinizulu Park and move through the Durban CBD. So this morning, joined by March and March founder Jacinta. Good morning and welcome back to Radio Al Ansar's Breakfast Rush.
Good morning, and thank you so much for that detailed description. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Let's begin. Let's start with the core aim. What is the main message you want this march to send to government and the public?
Look, I think the message that we want to channel is both to government and to South Africans, because I do feel like as South Africans, we also need to take some responsibility for what is happening in our country. And mostly we are the biggest enablers of illegal immigration. And we hide it behind the fact that we also benefit from the problems that it brings. Yet when it doesn't serve as a problem to us, we don't see it that way. For example, people who are renting out their homes to illegal immigrants don't see them as people who are breaking the laws. They see them as customers, you know, and people who are hiring them in their jobs, for example, they stand to benefit more because they realize that they can cut costs by paying them not even half of what they should be paying them. So they're maximizing profits at the expense of the country. Remember, when you're hiring an illegal immigrant, firstly, you don't know their background. You don't know where they live. You don't know what they're going to do and what their plans are when they leave the country. So when there's millions of illegal immigrants, they need a place to live. They need schools to go to. They need hospitals. And you're the one that's contributing to the influx that we have in this country. So that's one of the things we want to highlight. And to government, we have laws in this country. And those laws, if they were being enforced properly, we wouldn't have this crisis that we have today. But we've got this crisis today because our government has decided to go on holiday when it comes to this issue. And then we as citizens have to suffer while they have blue lights and big yards and security 24 hours. We don't have all of that. So we end up being the ones that suffer the most because of their inaction and their inability to enforce the laws of the country.
Your movement has made strong claims about the scale of illegal immigration, citing figures between 15 and 30 million. Can you provide clarity of the validity of these numbers?
Well, like I said, you can't actually know the actual numbers because these people are undocumented. They're going around living anywhere and being everywhere. But I know that one of the researchers that we spoke to actually used cell phone network connection to know how many of these people that we have in the country. Of course, because they do still need telecommunication with their families from outside the country. So the Vodacom obviously has that data because Vodacom is the link between all other cell phone network providers. So I know that person personally, And we do have conversations about it. And the numbers are really, really scary. Like I said, we're looking at between 15, some say 15, to some say 60, but her estimate is around 27, 28 million.
Jacinta, one of your criticisms is around law enforcement and border control. What specific changes would you like to see from police and government in addressing immigration issues?
I think, first of all, they need to take it as a crisis, because that's the first problem that we have, that some police officers are using it as a business now to actually just make money off immigrants. And they don't realize the effects of allowing people that you don't know, who are undocumented, to just walk around freely. I feel like we need a complete overhaul of our policing system, because it really doesn't work. It really, really doesn't work. The body cameras, etc., would work. There's too much corruption when it comes to officials, whether in the police or even at the Home Affairs Department. So that's where we've got a serious crisis. I mean, even SANDF members are being compromised now at the border, because they now start making a killing out of people coming into the border illegally without thinking of the greater impacts that it has in the country. So we do have a serious problem with South Africans themselves, who are so corrupt that they put themselves before protecting the country. And these are the people that we have trusted with taking care of the citizens of this country.
Now, there are concerns from organizations working with refugees that movements like this could fuel fear or even violence. What steps are you taking to ensure the march remains peaceful and does not incite xenophobia?
Look, I think now what I always say is that too much emphasis has been put on South Africans for the responsibility of not having xenophobia. Maybe you guys now as the media must start asking immigrants themselves, what role are they playing to make sure that South Africans don't resort to xenophobia? I think right now that's the only question or answer that I'm willing to listen to, because over and over again, we are being placed with the responsibility of not being xenophobic to people who are rude, disrespectful, who disrespect us, disrespect our country, who are committing crimes, who are bringing drugs and all of these things. You guys need to ask them now what they're doing to avoid xenophobia, not us.
We'll take that under advisement. Final question for you this morning. The march is calling on a wide range of workers and unemployed citizens to participate. What role do you believe the ordinary South African should play in addressing this issue?
Well, first of all, I think we've got a problem with employers, first of all, who don't understand what this is. So you've got a lot of them refusing South Africans to join in protest, to make their voices heard, to express themselves when it comes to the issue, because they feel like it's political or borderline xenophobia, as this word has been thrown around willy-nilly. But the minute you do that, you are oppressing a person and making them fearful of expressing exactly how this thing impacts their lives. A lot of South Africans are where we are today, unemployed, sad, despondent. They're receiving secondary care in hospitals when they should be receiving like top primary care in hospitals. And we find ourselves here because even employers, even people at homes, even people on the streets don't understand the greater impact of this. We would like to appeal to all South Africans, for those who feel like they don't know much about this topic or don't understand why we are doing what we're doing, to reach out to us. We're more than willing to give them more education on the issue, to show them the results of what happens when a country is influxed with illegal immigrants. And also we appeal to them to read more and equip themselves with more knowledge on why this issue is such a burning issue in the country, especially people of different races. We are a rainbow nation. So this might not affect you as much as it affects another South African who's probably at home, not working, who's on grants, etc. But you as a person who's probably working as well, are getting affected, because these resources that are overstretched in hospitals and schools, etc., it's your taxes that is paying to sustain the lives of these illegal immigrants. And the more drugs that are out there in the communities, the less safer you are as well. So every single person who's a South African is affected, whether they like it or not. And it's even more sad that our children are the ones that are going to be suffering the impacts of this issue of illegal immigrants more than we will. The crime that's happening in the country, the way it's increasing, the way we can't find people who are committing these crimes, the way our prisons are so full, is a sign of that we've got a greater problem, and every single South African now needs to add their voice. We're calling on businesses who hire illegal immigrants to remember that there's a person outside of that shop that you're hiring, and that person might not be the person that you think they are. And one day when they commit a crime, even in your own shop, as we've seen so many of them doing, they run away to their country and you'll never find them again. So please do the right thing as a citizen of the country and respect the laws of the country, and also play your part in making sure that the country is safe from people who are undocumented and illegal and we don't know who they are.
All right, date, time, and venue for the march.
The march is actually going to be on the 25th, which is this Wednesday. We're going to be starting at King Dini Zulu Park, which is down next to DCC, the church down there. And we're going straight to Hoy Park. And we are asking all citizens of the country, every single one, to please be a part, join the march, wear your T-shirts. If you don't have, just wear whatever, as long as you show up and make your voice heard. We really need South Africans to show up in numbers, because this crisis is becoming worse and worse and worse every day, and is posing such a great danger to our lives.
Jacinta, thank you for your time this morning.
Sorry, 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. There you go. Jacinta, once again, thank you very much for your time this morning. I know it's a very early morning for you, but you're a busy lady as well, so we're happy to have woken you up.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye now. It is your breakfast rush, 24 minutes after 7 this morning, as you make your way to the office. Certain lessons that we learned from that interview, Nazmeera Kassem. We're going to excuse you for what you say, because we know you're in hospital at the moment doing the show from a hospital bed, so you're quite possibly medicated, which is why I'm going to ask you this question. What lessons did you learn from that interview?
That's a difficult one. Really, it is. We'll just have to see. Honestly, what happens at the march, I do not have an answer to your question.
Insufficient medication. I need to phone the doctors. Because my excuse for the loose tongue was going to be, but she's medicated, man. She wasn't thinking straight. Can't do that today.
The Breakfast Rush, brought to you courtesy of the Willerton Group, at the forefront of innovation and one of the leading competitors in the South African FMCG market.
For over 5 decades, Sunfoil has nurtured a legacy rooted from our land. From a sunflower seed grown with goodness and love, crafted through excellence, precision, and care. Proudly South African, and the only 100% pure sunflower oil endorsed as a diamond partner by the Heart and Stroke Foundation. Cook with confidence, serving the best to the people you love, from one dish to the next. Sunfoil, the heart of good cooking.
The trucks have arrived and stocks are in. Yes, Wonder Dates have the largest variety of dates from Medina, Dubai, Iran, Tunisia, and Namibia. They stock a huge range of spices, nuts, dried fruit, and best of all, your Ramadan goodies at the best prices. So, for everything nutty, nibbly, chewy, munchy, spicy, sweet, sour, and savory, make a date with Wonder Dates, bringing the freshness of the farm to your home. Remember our new address, 9 Peters Road, Springfield Park, Durban. Contact us on 031 577 7722. Call now.
Gorima's Maggi Masala, Kashmiri, extra special masala, Madilo masala, Romborosi, butter chicken masala, Gorima's ginger and garlic paste, sabja seeds, almonds, colors, natural dates, Gorima's crushed canned tomatoes, Ajwa premium dates, turmeric, jeera seeds, Gorima's whole spice, biryani paste, Al Zahar, rose syrup, Gorima's samosa dip, badam mix, halim mix, ilachi syrup, Gorima's roast masala, Gorima's Alishan basmati rice, peri peri pour on marinade, tikka pour on marinade, tandoori pour on marinade, chistenyama pour on marinade, udon noodles, umami seasoning, Victoria barbecue spice, cheese kebab spice. Go, Gorima's! Gorima's, the same trusted name we all know. Enjoy.
The Breakfast Rush, brought to you courtesy of the Willerton Group, at the forefront of innovation and one of the leading competitors in the South African FMCG market.
My name is Rabia Parker. I'm from Western Cape, Cape Town. I'm Colton. I'm from Cape Town. Nakira, Cape Town. My favorite radio station is Radio Al-Ansar.
We love the Breakfast Rush.
This feature on the Breakfast Rush is powered by the Cellular City Group of Vodacom shops at the Pavilion Superstore 2.0, Entrance 6, Westwood Mall, Bluff Towers, the Workshop Durban, Megacity, Bridge City, Brookside Mall PMB, and the Nelson Mandela Square Stanton 2.0.
Something we haven't done in a while is update you on what's going on in store at our set of Vodacom stores. Now, whilst you're watching YouTube, you're watching the visuals for the winter trip for Umrah with the Cellular City Group of Vodacom stores. That grand final is taking place this week, Friday, inshallah, when the team, the entire marketing team from Vodacom, Cellular City Group of Vodacom stores is going to be in the studio. All right? So the team from Cellular City Group is going to be in the studio. We've got our finalists that are going to be in the studio. Inshallah, Nazmira Kasim is released from hospital. No, released is the wrong word. What is the word? Discharged. Discharged from hospital before that. So she's in the studio as well. We'll all be here. Mondley is already planning what he's wearing. It's going to be like Eid day for the guys. I promise you. Where somebody courtesy of Vodacom and the Cellular City Group of Vodacom stores, going to win that trip for two for Umrah as we end off that competition. But for today, let me tell you about this one here, man. A never to be a repeated offer. This is the mid-month sale. Valid for new lines only. Limited stock. The Honor X5C 64 gigabyte version of the device on the Red Flexi 90 plan. You pay 99 rands per month over 36 months. You get 90 rand airtime value back, right? That can be converted into data, mind you. And of course, that device, which is the Honor X5C, the 64 gigabyte version of that phone, offers you 13 megapixel ultra clear dual cameras, long-lasting battery, 6.74-inch bright and dynamic display, free charger in the box, cover in the box, Google on Android, and more. All available at the Cellular City Group of Vodacom stores. The Honor X5C, 64 gigabyte on the Red Flexi 90 plan. 99 rands a month over 36 months. If you wanted prepaid, you could just purchase the device at 1,699 rand. Grab this today at one of these stores.
This feature on the Breakfast Rush is powered by the Cellular City Group of Vodacom shops at the Pavilion Superstore 2.0, Entrance 6, Westwood Mall, Bluff Towers, the Workshop Durban, Megacity, Bridge City, Brookside Mall PMB, and the Nelson Mandela Square Stanton 2.0 Vodacom shop. For smartphones, laptops, routers, asset insurance, gaming, IoT, payment platforms, and the latest gadgets to always keeping you in the forefront of innovation and technology. Home and business internet to ensure that you have the best connection. Plug and play home internet to fully installed fiber. Our infrastructure provides a resilient platform for your critical business applications, which will help your business perform best. Vodacom shop at the Pavilion Superstore 2.0, Westwood Mall, The Bluff, the Workshop Durban, Umlazi Megacity, Bridge City Kwamashu, Brookside Mall PMB, and the Nelson Mandela Square Stanton 2.0.
The Breakfast Rush News Headlines.
Making news at the bottom of the hour, the Patriotic Alliance has hit back against the claims made against the Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Gayton McKenzie, and his alleged ties to the drug trade, which had emerged during Parliament's ad hoc committee earlier last week. As the deadline looms for the Central Energy Fund's study into the future of the Supref refinery in Durban, Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Mineral and Petroleum Resources says it has not received any recent update on whether the March 31st target will be met. And finally, stock markets in the Asia Pacific have fallen sharply amid US President Donald Trump's ultimatum, warning Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz or face the annihilation of its energy infrastructure. That's it for now. For Radio Al-Ansar News, I'm Tabila Duma.
Thank you very much. Tabila Duma, got to grab the last look at traffic for this morning.
Breakfast rush traffic.
Lieutenant Colonel Rauf, assalamu alaikum. Welcome.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much. The traffic still backing up on the N3 as you enter Peter Mansburg. Very slow moving. So just allow for extra traveling time there, please. N2 northbound is still congested as you're coming towards the Spaghetti Junction. Into southbound as well. Also the N3 between Paradise Valley and the Spaghetti is congested as well. The M41 is still a bit congested eastbound as you're going towards the M4, the hairpin bend onto the M4. And the N2 southbound between Amsloti and Slanga due to roadworks. There's some congestion there as well. Allow for extra traveling time, please. That's your final update.
Thank you very much, Colonel Rauf. Much appreciated. You take it nice and easy, and we'll catch up with you, inshallah, tomorrow morning, same time, same place.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam.
Dragged on. Excellent length. A little bit of movement.
The Breakfast Rush Sport Update with Buddy Governor.
Buddy Governor, assalamu alaikum. Welcome.
Walaikum salam. Good morning to you guys in the show. Hope you're all doing good in the studio.
Alhamdulillah, Monday morning. We're here to brighten up everybody's day.
Yep, indeed. Let's do that. Well, Leave Golf South Africa came and it's now gone. But what a great weekend of golf for South African golf enthusiasts. Bryson DeChambeau, he edged Jean Rahm on the first playoff hole to win the inaugural Leave Golf South Africa event out in the Midrand. The good news is that the Leave people have now said that they will be returning to South Africa next year, seeing that it was such a successful golf tour here in South Africa. So well done to all the organizers as well. MotoGP, that's the motorbikes, Marco Bezzecchi moved to the top of the championship standings after his victory at the Brazilian Grand Prix. He came in ahead of Jorge Martin and Fabio Gian Antonio. In cricket, well, Gerald Coetzee took 3 for 31 as South Africa beat New Zealand by 19 runs in Wellington to level the 5-match series at 2 apiece. Exciting stuff indeed. Earlier, Connor Esdaisen got his maiden T20 half-century, hitting 57 as the Proteas posted 164 for 5 in the allotted 20 overs. So Wednesday, it all comes down to the final must-win game for both teams. Carabao Cup, well, that enigmatic rivalry between the Manchester City and Arsenal continued. Manchester City saw off their title rivals Arsenal 2-0 at Wembley Stadium yesterday. Both goals were scored by local boy Nico O'Reilly. The manager Pep Guardiola becomes the first manager in English football to win the Carabao Cup 5 times. So that's an incredible performance there by Manchester City. They've won that cup 9 times already. So well done to Manchester City. Wembley was red yesterday with the Arsenal supporters at the beginning of the game. End of the game, it was blue. So well done. Great weekend of sport, and I'm sure there's going to be a good week of sport coming up, and we'll pick that all up on Wednesday, inshallah. Nish, when I'll bring another update through to you.
Looking forward to it, Buddy Governor. Tell me, how was Eid on your side?
It was good. It was quiet on my side. Very quiet, in fact. But it was good. It was nice just to reflect on the month that had been.
So no new clothes and shopping and cars and big dishes.
No, we're not that way. I mean,
And
also
big bellies.
the Porsche. I mean, what are we going to change the Porsche for?
You can't. Just take it for a wash. You take it for a wash. That's what you do. You bone it up, as they say. Shine it down. The reason I'm asking is because what we said to everybody from last week is that the team's going to wear their Eid outfits and come to the studio on Friday because we're giving away the 2 Uber tickets to those listeners that are going to be here in the studio as well.
Yeah, inshallah, I'm looking forward to that one. Definitely.
So you're going to wear the Porsche?
Sorry, say that again.
You're going to wear the Porsche?
I'll come with the Porsche, It's a VW. It's a VW. And I know, VW make Porsche, I think. Is it? So it's like the same family. I call my VW a Porsche.
No, most definitely. I mean, if you go under the hood, you're going to find on the parts, it says there VW, Audi, Porsche.
Yeah, just in case the listeners think that I'm actually showing off with a Porsche, I don't have a Porsche. So let's get that clear.
Thank you, buddy. Take it easy. We'll
Take
catch up with
care.
you tomorrow.
God bless. Assalamu alaikum to you guys.
The Breakfast Rush, brought to you courtesy of the Willerton Group, at the forefront of innovation and one of the leading competitors in the South African FMCG market.
For over 5 decades, Sunfoil has nurtured a legacy rooted from our land. From a sunflower seed grown with goodness and love, crafted through excellence, precision, and care. Proudly South African and the only 100% pure sunflower oil endorsed as a diamond partner by the Heart and Stroke Foundation. Cook with confidence, serving the best to the people you love from one dish to the next. Sunfoil, the heart of good cooking.
At Checkers, our Steakhouse Classic range is crafted for those who take pride in every braai. Each cut is hand-trimmed by our expert butchers, perfectly matured and vacuum-packed for tenderness that melts in your mouth. From man-sized T-bone steak, beef tomahawk, and classic steak cuts, our butchery brings you over 21 Steakhouse Classic steak cuts to choose from, perfectly prepared. Checkers Saxony Westwood, butchery, bakery, and deli, certified by the NIHT.
Hungry for a deal that hits the spot? Get the top duo deal. 2 large margarita pizzas plus 1 topping each for $1.99. Or go big or go home with the Bellissima duo deal. 2 large Bellissima pizzas for $2.69. Pure flavor perfection. And that's not all. The snack box combos are here. Your pizza boy's favorite pack to the ultimate munch box. Don't forget our daily lunch specials. Delicious, quick, and wallet friendly. Only at Pizza Boys. Taste that hits different. Pizza Boys, bring your va-va boom to your slice of life. Find your nearest Pizza Boys near you. Pizza Boys, we don't cut corners.
The Breakfast Rush, brought to you courtesy of the Willerton Group, at the forefront of innovation and one of the leading competitors in the South African FMCG market.
We love the breakfast rush.
To the trees, to the birds and other bees. Ya Rabbil Alameen, your creation is a dream. From the stars to the moon, your dominion is so vast, yet your beauty isn't seen. Ya Rabbi, please accept my prayer. Ya Rabbil Alameen, Ya Rahmanu Ya Rahim, Ya رب العالمين يا رحمن يا رحيم لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله عليه صلاة الله عليه بركات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله عليه صلاة الله عليه بركات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله خالق الإنسان ربي بارئ الأكوان إلهي ليس لك مثيل كل عجز عن التمثيل خلقتني من عدم إلى وجود أنت ربي دائما أنت المعبود يا رب العالمين يا رحمن يا رحيم لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله عليه صلاة الله عليه بركات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله عليه صلاة الله عليه بركات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله أدعوك إلهي I'm calling your name 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 يا رب العالمين يا رحمن يا رحيم يا رب العالمين يا رحمن يا رحيم لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله عليه صلاة الله عليه بركات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله عليه صلاة الله عليه بركات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله عليه صلاة الله عليه بركات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله عليه
TBR, it says 90.4 FM in Durban, 105.6 FM in Pietermaritzburg. As we get through this morning, just sitting back, relaxing and all of that, and just thinking about, there's been 5 months, Nasmira, 5 months of back and forth, if you want to call it that, with explosive testimony. Parliament's ad hoc committee that's investigating these allegations that were made months and months ago by KZN's police commissioner, Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. It's officially wrapped up its public hearings, and we've been looking at this, we've been watching it, we've been reporting on it in news segments and more over the last many months. Finally, it's come to an end where they've wrapped up their public hearings now, and we want to get the thoughts on this. So after nearly 5 months of gripping and often explosive testimony, Parliament's ad hoc committee investigating allegations made by KZN's police commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi has officially wrapped up its public hearings. The inquiry was triggered by Mkhwanazi's bombshell claims in 2025, where he alleged deep-rooted corruption, political interference, and possible criminal infiltration within the country's justice system. Now, over the past 5 months, the committee has heard from a wide range of witnesses, including senior police officials, political figures, and independent investigators, painting what many describe as a troubling picture of internal divisions, alleged interference, and possible links between law enforcement and criminal networks. But the big question on everybody's mind is, after months of testimony, serious allegations. Now, will this process actually lead to arrests, or will it end in recommendations without accountability? Let's unpack this now with political analyst Professor Dirk Coetzee. Good morning and welcome to the Breakfast Rush on Radio Al-Ansar.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
Professor, after all of these months of testimony, what stands out to you the most as the most significant revelation from all of these hearings?
Well, I think there's a lot that are competing for that status. I think the fact that, more collectively speaking, that so many very senior persons in the police service, generals and very high senior positions have been implicated. And there has been demonstrated that there are very close relations with persons that are at the same time now being accused of being involved in either syndicates or in very many forms of criminality. And that includes not only in the police service, but also, for example, in the Ekurhuleni Metro Police Service. And also then at the same time, the way in which private security companies and other forms of the private sector have become involved in this. It actually sets out a web or a network of what General Mkonase had in mind when he made those announcements.
Do you think the inquiry has strengthened or weakened public trust in the police and justice system?
I think it works in both ways. In terms of the revelations, obviously it deepens the distrust in the police and makes it difficult when you are, for example, stopped at a roadblock to know whether this is a genuine roadblock or not, and what their connections are with, possible connections are with criminal groups. On the other hand, it also revealed that there are some police officers who are indeed doing their work in a very diligent way, that's very serious about policing in South Africa, and that they are able and willing to be able to reform and reconstitute to a large extent the police service. So that's why I'm saying it works in both directions.
If you've just tuned in, it's 12 minutes to 8, and we're speaking with political analyst Professor Dirk Coetzee. Professor, the big question: do you realistically expect arrests to follow, or are we more likely to see internal disciplinary action and recommendations instead?
Well, this committee was not investigative committee. It wasn't doing the work that the National Prosecuting Authority should do, or that the police should do, in order to build a case. What they've done, they've revealed really a massive lot of information, but it's not yet ready to be taken to court. So in that sense, a lot of work still has to be done, especially, well, first of all, by the police, the Hawks or IDEC, the different components of investigation, in order to build a case. Because, as I said, the evidence hasn't been tested yet. There hasn't been real cross-examination that took place. It was more revealing the information. And that is very important because it's most of the time, it's very time-consuming. And I think in this case, they went beyond what most commissions of inquiry have done. And that is that there has been cross-references, that witnesses either supported each other or confirmed what the others were saying. So in that sense, a picture has developed, which can be used by the investigators first of all, and then the prosecutors, which will, as I said, save them very much time. And I think that is one of the main purposes. But at the same time, the public has become much better informed about what the situation is. So whoever are going to see their role in public has to put pressure on the public institutions like the NPA and others in order to do this work. It's much better than in the past when we were not aware of what is going on and sort of the basic information that is available.
Some of the allegations point to political interference. How damaging could this be for government credibility, especially with the local elections that are coming up?
Well, the question is who you refer to in government. Is it the ANC or is it the government of national unity in general? If it is the government in general, then obviously it affects all the main parties because they are then collectively responsible for this. And I think this is where the problem of low public trust in political institutions in general is coming from. They don't necessarily limit it to only, let's say, the ANC. We've seen now in one of the latest revelations of how parties like Action SA in Tshwane Metro is also involved in this. So I think it's not something therefore that one can ascribe to only one party, and it is also something which actually has a reflection on the political processes the parties, even those in Parliament and others, whose credibility is under question.
Final question for this morning. Could this inquiry trigger broader reforms within SAPS or even changes at leadership level?
Yes, that is indeed so. I think we must also not forget that the main driving force of this process is actually the Matlanga Commission and not the ad hoc committee in Parliament. So I think what is going to come out in terms of a final report from the Matlanga Commission will be very important. And they will be able to make recommendations which go far beyond that of the ad hoc committee in Parliament. So I think in that sense, yes, there are certainly going to be proposals, recommendations that will go beyond simply identifying individuals and those that might be investigated further or that are actually recommended to be prosecuted.
Professor, I want to thank you for your time this morning and insight on the topic as well, and bringing this information to our listeners. Have a blessed day going forward.
Thank you very much.
Speaking with Professor Doug Kutsia this morning on your breakfast rush, this reflecting on this commission of inquiry that's been going on for many months, nearly 5 months of gripping and often explosive testimony. This was Parliament's ad hoc committee's investigation into those allegations made by Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. They've wrapped up their public hearings now. Let's wait and see, Ms. Mira. It's a wait and see game now. See what comes off everything.
And also interesting to know how much was actually spent over the past 5 months. Money matters to me.
Most definitely, to everybody, to every tax-paying South African, we want to know the bill. But anyway, it's not coming to us in this little envelope with a pen to say gratuity. No, it's not. So we'll see. We'll see when that time comes. Anyway, talking about the time coming, it's time to go home now.
Your Salah time. Your Salah times for today, the 3rd of Shawwal, 14:47, Zohar 9 minutes past 12, Asr 24 minutes past 4, Maghrib 6 minutes past 8, and Isha 23 minutes past 7. Not followed by Tarawih today. Have a lovely day. Be the best version of you. Yes.
Now, you know, I know I make light of it, and I joke about you waking up in a hospital bed for the last 2 mornings, and quite possibly doing the same thing tomorrow morning, and all of that. And the only reason I make light of it is because it's me.
It's a Nishal thing to do.
It's what you gotta do to keep somebody's mood up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and your pies have been delayed.
You know, okay, so we weren't going to mention. We weren't going to mention. Mondley and I said, no, we'll keep quiet about it. We won't mention anything about. Nazmira Kassem was meant to bring us breakfast in studio this morning, like oats pies and half moons and da-di-da-di-da-di. And then she went and got herself into hospital. You didn't need to do that, guys. You could have just said to us, guys, it's going to be delayed by a few days. You could have done that.
Yeah, let's just hope that the wait is worth it.
Inshallah, your recovery is swift, and we see you back in the studio very, very, very soon. Before we end the show, 40th anniversary Mubarak to Musaddiq and Shaida Sayed. We hope that you have an absolutely amazingly blessed anniversary today. Shaida and Musaddiq. Sarah Bibi Mustafa Parag, Jazakallah for your messages every morning. Loads of our listeners sending get well messages, swift recovery, dua shifa for Nazmira Kassem. Do you want to say Jazakallah, or should I on your behalf?
Appreciate it. Jazakallah khair, and inshallah with those du'as, then let me go home today.
Yes, there you go. And Anisa, assalamu alaikum to you as well, Fazila. And let's see, Nurunisa. Not ignoring any of your messages. That's it for TBR for this morning. Let's do the same tomorrow morning, inshallah. Breakfast radio. On your TV if you're watching on YouTube. Do good. Be good. Till the next time.
The Breakfast Rush, brought to you courtesy of the Woolerton Group, at the forefront of innovation and one of the leading competitors in the South African FMCG market.